Hi, my name is Megan Blythe-Hores, and this is my instructional design presentation. I focused on phonemic awareness and phonics in kindergarten with multilingual learners. My instructional goal was that students will pronounce, segment, and blend phonemes in spoken words. The needs or goals of my students would be that students will identify all 26 letters in the English alphabet. Students will identify and pronounce all 44 English sounds taught. Students will segment phonemes by onset and rhyme. Students will isolate phonemes by beginning, middle, and ending sounds in consonant, vowel, consonant words. So why did I select this goal? MLL, or multilingual learner students, do not have a proficient understanding of blending sounds to make words, and this was determined after giving them a pre-assessment using Dibble's 8th edition nonsense word fluency assessment. And during teacher observations of 6-minute solutions, some students omitted vowel sounds, some students skipped entire words they didn't know, and some students read the entire words incorrectly when blending the sounds together to make the words. So MLL students also struggle with the following English phonemes: B, D, H, J, M, N, R, sh, V, W, and Y. And by teaching lessons that target these phonemes, it would help support students with blending the sounds to make words. So that's why I chose the instructional goal, that students will pronounce, segment, and blend phonemes in spoken words. So let's take a look at my map. So at the top you see my instructional goal, and then all of my needs below them. And then going upwards is all of the different skills or goals that will be in lessons along the way to help us reach those goals. So they'll be able to work on identifying their lowercase letters, then their uppercase letters, then they're going to trace and write their uppercase letters and lowercase letters, and eventually be able to identify all 26 English letters in the alphabet. And then same thing over here, students will learn letter and sounds that make one continuous sound first. Then they're going to learn sounds that are difficult to say without adding a vowel sound, such as these letters right here. Then they're going to learn the short vowel sounds, and then they're going to identify and pronounce all 44 English letter sounds taught. Then over here, they're going to be identifying the parts of the word before the vowel, the parts of the word after the vowel, and then learn onset and rhyme, and eventually be able to segment by onset and rhyme. Then they're going to be identifying the initial sounds in CVC words, the middle vowel sounds in CVC words, and then the ending sounds in CVC words, and eventually being able to isolate phonemes by beginning, middle, and ending sounds. And then going to our overall goal, which is pronouncing and segmenting and blending all phonemes in spoken words. And before they're even able to do any of that, they must know all of the the letters in their names. They must have some print awareness, such as being able to hold a book. They must know how to discriminate sound differences in everyday objects, such as the difference between a stapler clicking versus a pencil tapping. Can they differentiate those sounds? Are they able to understand what onset and rhyme vocabulary words are actually meaning? Are they able to understand positional words, such as where is the position of the beginning sound, middle sound, and ending sound in the word? And what does the vocabulary word phoneme mean? So when we're asking them to identify a phoneme, do they even know what that is asking them to do? What strategies will I be using in the classroom to help them fulfill all of these goals? So I will be using Tucker signing strategy, which is where we chunk the alphabet into 46 chunks and give them a hand signal to use for each one. Elkonin sound box strategy, where students will be provided a 3-square board with sound chips to slide up for, initially they'll be doing onset and rhyme, and then gradually progressing into doing beginning, middle, and ending sound with the chips to assess their knowledge on blending and segmenting and blending the sounds for CVC words. Then we're going to move on to total physical response. Students are going to use their arms to segment and blend their sounds. Their shoulder will represent the beginning sound, their forearm would be their middle sound, and their wrist would be their ending sound. They would tap for each sound and blend by sliding their hand down their entire arm to blend the sound to make the word and say the whole word together. What assessments will I be using? I will be using Dibble's 8th edition Nonsense Word Fluency. The teacher will give the students 1 minute to look at the make-believe word, say all the sounds in the word, and then they will blend the sounds to read the word if possible. Next, we're going to use 6-minute solutions. Students will work in pairs. They'll have a list of CVC words. They will take turns reading the CVC words and tracking each other, segmenting and blending. The students will mark down any errors that are made within the 1-minute read of the list. Exit tickets will also be used. They will be used at the end of each daily lesson. They'll need to be created in advance of the lesson, and these could be written exit tickets for assessment of letters or verbal exit tickets to assess phonemes or segmenting and blending of sounds to make words. So how will I determine if the instructional lesson plan was successful? It will be determined and measured by students' acquisition of the lesson goals, growth on post-assessments, growth on formative assessments, growth on exit tickets, and growth on informal observations conducted by the teacher. Here's a list of the references from the instructional activities and information that I included in today's presentation if you're interested in using any of the strategies or information that I have referenced throughout. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you got something from this presentation that would be helpful for your classroom.